If we take a look at the sequel trilogy, one of the most mysterious things, at least in my opinion, has all to do with Rey and her parents. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are very curious about when it comes to this film has all to do with Rey's lineage. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams is going to be giving Rey a very important lineage in this film that will not only wrap everything together, but will also make us look at the prequels and the originals in a different way, which honestly leads a lot of people to believing that maybe there is more to the story than what we already know from The Last Jedi. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with a major hint and or indicator of Rey's parents being connected to the Jedi Master, Luke Skywalker. Specifically, a description of what appears to be Rey's parents on the planet Jakku. An older man and an older woman next to a young Rey hiding in a tent. The next goes over the two individuals talking to a hooded figure, handing them Jedi relics and artifacts. The figure begins to pull his hood back, and it's described as a young Luke Skywalker, discussing a matter with the two characters that resemble Rey. The last goes over the younger version of Luke walking away and putting the hood back over his head, as Rey's parents are walking in the opposite direction, toward one of the tents that a younger Rey resides in. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this that really do raise my interest when it comes to the use of flashbacks in Episode 9. Now, not only does this line directly up with the de-aging technology that will be applied in this film. Now, it has been said before that Mark Hamill is actually going to be using this technology in the movie, and it would most certainly fit this case right here, where we do have a sequence involving Rey's parents and Luke Skywalker. Now, you can see how everything is starting to fall into place here. If you look at the character of Rey in The Force Awakens, we do know that she knows a lot about the Jedi lore, the character of Luke Skywalker. How else did she learn about Luke himself? And it seems as so now that Rey's parents actually do have a deep connection with the character, where they were getting Jedi artifacts and relics from Luke. Which leaves me to believe that maybe perhaps they were actually members of the Church of the Force, a group of people who kept alive, the whole entire concept of the Jedi and the Jedi lore itself. And also, if we look at Luke Skywalker talking to Rey inside the tree library in The Last Jedi, he knows about Jakku. He's been to Jakku. He even says that's pretty much nowhere. So we do know that Luke Skywalker has been places before in the Star Wars galaxy. Now, as far as, these individuals, walking outside the tent, meeting up with Luke Skywalker, and actually getting these Jedi relics and artifacts, would also deeply explain as to how and why Rey knows a lot about the Jedi and the Jedi lore. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams, like I say, he plans on delivering tons of elements of past characters into the character of Rey in Episode 9. He's going to be giving her a very important lineage in this film, and will also be exploring other aspects of Rey's identity in this film that'll truly resonate with fans around the world. So I think that in order to do this correctly, for J.J. Abrams to do this right, I think that he does have to actually create these connections just like this, and it seems like that's exactly what J.J. and Chris Terrio are toying around with right now for this movie. So, Rey's parents, the biggest question of all, do they really matter in the story? Are they really going to be that significant? Well, the bigger part of the story could have something to do with her grandparents. If we look at the whole concept of her grandparents being a more important aspect of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, I could absolutely see that. I think that there's a deeper reason as to why J.J. Abrams actually inserted the Obi-Wan Kenobi voice in The Force Awakens Force-Back Vision sequence. There absolutely is a reason. He pulled Ewan McGregor in last minute, right before they were wrapping production, and he had him do that line for something, very specific and very important to the overall story. Sadly, JJ did not return for The Last Jedi, so a lot of these burning questions are going to be answered in this movie, especially different aspects involving Rey's parents and Rey's identity and her lineage. So let me know what you guys think about this whole entire situation here, about, JJ trying to really kind of just expand Rey's lineage in episode 9 and kind of just explain exactly what was going on before the events of the sequel trilogy. Like I said, there's a lot of mystery in between the originals and the sequels, and there's a lot to be told for sure, not just with the character of Luke, but also with the character of Rey growing up on the planet Jakku. There is a lot to be told that will be explored in episode 9, thankfully. And that brings us over to Wadi Rum. Wadi Rum was one of the big filming locations for episode 9. They shot there for 3 months. I believe they wrapped just like a month ago, give or take. And, moving on from there, a lot of people have been wondering on whether or not that's going to be the planet Jakku, Jeddah, or maybe even Tatooine, or just a new planet entirely. We do know it's going to be one of the major sequences in episode 9, and it's going to be crucial to the overall plot of this movie. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.